Hello and welcome to the Comic Panel, your Fairbanks radio show for all things comics and comic-related media. I'm Taylon.
I'm Jacob.
And I'm Shawenta.
And today we're going to be talking about Southern Cross, art by Becky Cloonan, or also...
No, written by Becky Cloonan, and she did the cover, but art by...
Written by Becky Cloonan.
Art by Andy Bellinger, colored by Lee Lowbridge, and lettered by Sergei Lapointe.
Yep, and published by Image Comics. All right, so Shawenta, you chose this book. Mind giving a synopsis?
Summary? I've always thought Becky Cloonan is a really great artist. She's one of the first people I became aware of as far as like comic art. Which... Honestly, it was like probably 2014 or whenever she did the one book that had the 3 stories in it that was originally my pick.
Of Providence or
by chance or Providence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it was around then. So I chose that book and because that's one of the first books I became aware of as far as comics, which sounds bad. Comics just floated into my life, in and out. But getting on social media and then seeing Becky Cloonan's work, really, I was like, whoa, I can follow comic book artists out here.
Yeah.
Just made me aware of that stuff. Anyway, I originally chose By Chance or Providence, but which Becky Cloonan wrote and also illustrated. Obviously, I was more interested in the illustration part, but I don't know. I've heard about Southern Cross when I was looking at more of her work. I was By Chance or Providence is kind of short. I wanted us to cover something that had a little bit more story. And I don't know. I guess I was just surprised that she'd written an entire series for the most part. Spoiler alert. Southern Cross is unfinished.
Oh, I knew it had multiple volumes. Did not know
it has
that.
2 volumes, which each are 6 issues, and then there's in actuality 14 issues. I couldn't really find, and I didn't super search for why it's unfinished. Maybe just canceled. I don't know if for any particular reason. Things just happen.
Gotcha.
So yeah, especially, I heard Becky Cloonan had written this book. I was disappointed that she hadn't also done the art for it. But I was super interested in the premise too, sci-fi, female main character, mystery, unraveling, possibility. Now, yeah.
Maybe I'm being a little too critical, but those are tags in a book that you'd find, oh,
it's true. They don't really
the
tell you what the book is about in actuality.
Gotcha.
But it's points that get you in where you're I'm always interested to see if people can write around the, using these specific things.
Oh, gotcha.
I don't know. It doesn't mean the book is good, obviously.
It's
just something that gets you interested. If you're interested in crime thrillers or something, man.
Yeah.
Country music. Unrelated.
Wait a minute. A country music crime thriller. Whoa.
In comics. A non-audio medium.
Okay, fine. Country crime thriller. Let's go.
I think you're just thinking of Justified.
Oh, I've never seen that, but okay.
Are you asking for a Southern Gothic crime thriller?
No, I'm not. No. I'm just riffing.
Okay.
All right.
Can't even tell if you want that, or are you just talking about things that might
exist? Or you just like the dartboard nature of just finding okay. A series of somewhat unrelated media forms. Okay.
Yep.
Sure. Which I don't know. There's something to be said about that. The setup to this did remind me of, well, old now, but at the time, I don't know, Doctor Who episodes in the new series, because that's where the premise of this is kind of
by
it's
new
a
series?
Well, the stuff that happened after the 2000s, not like the very old stuff.
So
in,
you mean like
1950s.
once they got the 9th Doctor or the 10th Doctor?
Yes.
Okay.
Which is old now, but
Mhm.
it's not like, if I say old Doctor, it's not
Gotcha.
the old stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, the setup being a horror story on the way somewhere. Like, there are a couple episodes where it's like you're stuck on a spaceship somewhere, and then like weird stuff starts happening. There's no real explanation to it. I like that setup. It's pretty cool. They did an okay job with that part of the setup, I'll say.
Gotcha.
I mean, I don't know. It's just the whole thing of like something horrible has happened here. You know, my sister died on Titan, and I need to find out why. You know, just like unresolved stuff with family. It's like
Gotcha.
potential.
Okay.
Um.
That's fair.
So we should probably walk through what actually ends up happening.
Oh yeah, I guess.
Because it's very different.
I mean, we can debate over it. So I have a lot of notes. They're kind of free form though, bullet points.
I did not take notes, but I feel like I probably should have.
I mean, since I picked the book, I felt that like it was on me, sort of, to take good notes.
Gotcha.
So I have all the character names too, because I'll be
Oh
real.
man.
At least I could tell the difference between characters for the most part, which like we can't say that for some books. But I was like, okay, I got everybody's name. Now who am I missing? I was like, oh, the main character.
Okay. I will say, my complaint with that is that they introduced her, never said her name till page 20.
Okay.
Introduced her page 7.
Page 20, that's still pretty early.
I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, it's the main
so salty about
character. As long as you recognize them visually, like, you don't, you're gonna know them the entire series, so.
I will say, though, I don't really appreciate how, like, most of the dialogue is, oh, hey, you're blank, right? It's like, all right, come on, guys. Like, the other part of that is, like, I don't mind if you name everybody and then the characters say, oh, yeah, you're that guy. But then, like, if you just say, hey, you're that guy, how do we know? We never saw their name.
Well, that's when they say yes.
That's more of a personal thing.
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Yes, I am so-and-so, and this is my backstory. They immediately launch into it. So as we kind of like mentioned, there's the main character, Alex Braith, and she is going on to a spaceship called the Southern Cross, which is going to take her to Titan from Earth. And she's going to Titan because her sister Amber worked there, but passed away, mysterious circumstances. Like, nobody seems to be telling her how she died, really. And so Alex, I'm traveling to Titan to find answers or whatever, monologuing. She immediately meets, in her cabin, Aaron McKenna, who just is like, yeah, there wasn't that much room on the ship, so I'm sorry I got to bunk with you. And I don't know, I would describe the majority of the story as like Alex wandering somewhere and then being let into rooms and then discovering more information and then wandering somewhere else.
That's fair.
So she runs into the captain of the ship, Mori Tetsuya, and they like previously bumped into each other and exchanged glowering looks at the time.
Yeah. I had to look back when I heard that because I was like, I don't remember that.
I remember that actually because I was like, wow, Alex, just I don't know, Alex's interactions with everybody.
Yeah, she like backed down real quickly for some reason. I was like,
well, when she found out he was the captain, she's like, sorry about that. I didn't know you were someone important.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just so bizarre.
And
Alex's,
then he just
like,
lets
interactions with everyone.
Yeah.
He lets her into the engine room just
Honestly,
right
that's
after
more
that.
bizarre to me.
Like, nearly openly hostile with almost everyone except for the captain. And it's never like really explained. Like I understand you're probably stressed going to pick up your sister's remains. That sucks.
Yeah.
But like you don't have to take it out on everybody else on the ship.
I think she's just that kind of person. So what I found more bizarre was the fact that times when she wasn't, with like little to no reason, like you're saying, where she's just kind of like gets along with the captain.
Mm-hmm.
But why?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah,
she gets talking about the story. We don't
she
have
gets
to
to go
interrupt
to
all
the
time,
engine
but-
room, which like special privileges much. She
Mhm.
constantly like barges into the engine room. Like that just
Are none of these doors locked?
Okay, so like I was saying, the captain takes her to the engine room because he's like, I gotta do a routine inspection. He's like, you want to come along, best friend I just met? And she's like, sure. I have nothing better to do. I hate everybody here. And they go to the engine room. They get to see Special Triangle number 1, which is the gravity drive.
At first I thought it was a prism, but it looks more like pyramid.
I mean, yeah, it's a prism, isn't it? Or pyramid?
Did I get transported back to math class? Or we're talking about the shape.
Because it's important.
A triangle's flat. Pyramid meets together towards the top. Prism
is more extruded.
Yeah.
So it's got a square base.
Anyway,
Versus
I
a
don't
pyramid,
remember what
which
it
is
looks like.
Wait,
It's a special
rectangle
triangle.
base.
It's a special triangle.
I gotta correct my phrasing.
I don't think the shape matters. I'm gonna be real, guys.
Special triangle.
Anyway, it's called the gravity drive.
I mean, they never explain it.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
it
just
starts to
gravity
have
drive.
trouble later, and they just don't explain what it even is. So I'm like, guess their special triangle's acting up.
Well, but you know, they go so far as to say like it makes people sick. You know, so.
I
there's that.
mean, they could be on a cruise ship, and it would be like if your gravity's messing up, it's gonna make people sick. I think.
Gotcha.
Okay,
Oh,
so
yeah.
she ends up, getting to see the gravity drive. They're like, yeah, we just got installed. Pretty cool, huh? She meets the engineer, the captain, and she ends up finding out that the person she's rooming with, Aaron, is going to Titan to investigate her sister's death.
Yeah.
And,
I
big
didn't
reveal.
even notice. I'm looking at the panel where they look at the folder. You know what the case number is?
What?
It's case number 666.
That's so dumb.
That's, oh my god. Well, it's 666-1B. But still, come on, guys. Like, I get it.
Might
Oh,
be
spooky
demons
number.
666.
Oh, man.
Okay, anyway. Moving forward, Aaron
does that
ends
really-
up... So, like, the
Whoa.
entire first issue, Alex spent trying to avoid people. Like, she keeps running into different characters. She meets Kyril, their neighbor. And she keeps trying to avoid Aaron, who just wants to talk to her for the most part.
I know, that was so mean.
I mean, it's the nicest way she could have done it, I guess. But she's
I don't know.
still...
It's one thing to not talk to like your seatmate on like a plane ride that's like 6 hours maybe, but like you're gonna spend 6 days
Right.
with this person if the trip goes well.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you can't just clam up for 6 days.
What are you supposed to do? Just talk to them for hours on hours on hours?
I mean, that's what
I
I,
don't know,
do.
just at least say like, all right, hey, listen,
I'm getting
I
a
know we're-"
headache. Please shut up.
Yeah, like you should say something like, hey, like I just don't like to talk to people. All right.
Yeah.
Like, I understand. I can see by looking at you, you're an extrovert, but I don't want to talk to you.
Oh, okay. For
Well-
a second, I was like, I thought you were talking to me literally.
You have to put up the boundaries if you're
Yeah.
going to spend 6
Yeah.
days with somebody.
I don't know if we start stories with well-adjusted characters, though,
Well,
who
okay.
communicate
fair
their
enough. Okay.
feelings.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, that was-
okay.
The problem is, every single person in this story seems to be like Alex. Okay, we can't get into it yet. We gotta keep going. Erin McKenna disappears. She, her clothes have been laid out for the day, it seems like, but she's just gone next day. And, Alex is immediately worried about it, even though I think she just like woke up, and so she rushes to tell the captain, which like Alex is kind of supposed to be shown as like rebellious and like she's been involved with bad people, but she sure rushes to authority every single moment she can.
Mm-hmm.
So she rushes to tell the captain. The captain's like, it's been 5 minutes of her missing. I don't care. Like maybe she's on the ship somewhere.
Or not.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, have you searched the ship? No, she hasn't. Of course not.
I thought it was really weird. He was just like, yeah, we're not going to worry about it right now.
I mean, it's like if you woke up in the morning and you were like, where is everybody? It's like maybe they're off doing the things they do during the day.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't check anywhere. I mean, it is weird.
Yes.
But Alex ends up running into the guy she met previously, the Dr. Lon Wells, and he took her to a room, and she meets him again. They end up sharing a drink, and he ends up mentioning, I think somebody killed themselves in Alex's room last time they were doing this trip. And he's like, I don't know, there's just something about that room. And Alex ends up going back to her room drunkish, and she runs into their neighbor bunkmate, Kyril, who she recognizes based on his tattoos is part of organized crime, probably, one that she was part of.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's like, I do not want to deal with this. And she keeps rebuffing him. He keeps making advances on her and all that. And, I don't know. There's stuff that happens in between. No, actually. So Alex immediately is like, man, Erin's gone. I don't know where she is. Better look through her things. Which means reading the case files on her sister's death. And she finds out that her sister died of strangulation. And ends up having...
There's a sign of a struggle at that time, too.
Sign of a struggle? I mean, strangulation is probably a struggle, too. And Alex ends up seeing it's not a ghost. It looks more like a corpse kind of thing coming out of the walls. Yeah. And she freaks out and leaves her room and goes to tell the captain. And the captain's like, things have been messing up with our gravity drive. Like, that's what I've been trying to fix. He goes, it probably made you hallucinate. You just gotta hang out. And, I just have the bullet point, threaten Kyril. Kyril approaches her again in the lunchroom. And I just find it so funny that, like, organized crime man, like drug dealer / smuggler that he is, which we find out later.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's obvious from the get-go. Like, what else would he be doing there? She, like, stabs her space hot dog, and he's like, like, taken aback. And she's like, leave me alone. I hate you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but hey, you gotta respect her honesty. She was frank with him. I don't like you.
I mean, it only took, like, 3 times.
Establishing boundaries.
Yeah, there you go.
This hot dog is you. I will stab you if you come near me.
Also, it's a minor thing, but man, you shouldn't, like, they go to the hot dog dispenser, and it makes, like, a splork onomatopoeia.
Yeah.
You shouldn't eat anything that makes a splork when it is, like, produced. Just a bad time.
I don't know, man. Yogurt, pudding.
Yogurt makes a splork?
I mean, we don't have to get it out of dispensers.
You get it the cups. Like, if it's like one of those ketchup machines where you just, like, press it down a bunch. I'm not having it.
Oh my god, I just thought of the Teletubbies now. Little space creatures. So she threatens Kyril. I keep calling him Kyril. I don't feel like that's how it's pronounced.
Kyril?
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. He's just like a vaguely space Russian. I don't think it matters.
Yeah, literally. Everybody Russian gangster. Alex, once again, like, she's having problems. And so she
Flashes,
ends up
yeah.
getting helped by Lon.
Yep, Dr.
The
Lawn.
Yeah, Dr. Lon. And she waits for him to leave after giving her some stuff to drink to help with her headache or whatever. And she ends up immediately just going to his safe, cracking it, and like stealing from him the one crucial piece of information, I guess.
Yep.
Well, she looks at the passenger list of like the previous flight, and they have like a little dot next to the name Flask, which like to me could mean anything. It doesn't mean it's the dude who killed himself in her room.
Well, I assume it's like passenger list, Flask. Oh, I see what you mean there.
There's just a little dot there.
Well, no,
She's
no,
like, aha.
she
Well, maybe there's just like a key at the bottom, and the dot says killed himself.
no, I think she was saying she was comparing the people who went to Titan and the people who came back, and if there was one missing, that would be Flask.
I guess they have to be consistent, right? They're saying people who go to Titan to work there with the mining operations, they have to leave because, you know, of course, being on the planet for too long deteriorates your body. So that's why it's like in cycles. So, yeah, I suppose that makes sense. I didn't totally understand what she was talking about because they only showed one list. It was just a dot there.
Yeah.
And she ends up finding a thing labeled Flask. And the thing is, I didn't look at the list of names she was looking at closely, so I just saw her grab something labeled Flask, and I was like, that's kind of nice. It's like labeling your cup.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the problem with sci-fi stories, right? Everybody's got to be named something like Cable or Input.
I don't know. The other thing about that now is like, how dumb is it to like have all the evidence that proves your official story wrong just like openly labeled
Secret
that
evidence.
it's exactly what it is.
I mean, he labeled it the dude's name, so we could know it was related to the dude.
I guess.
Secret
I
tape.
mean, like, it makes
it
sense to let
wasn't-
us know, but it doesn't make sense if you're actually trying to cover up a dead body.
Okay, if you had a special tape that was related to a cover-up, what would you label it?
Tax documents 2019.
And so when you're going through your stuff
Nobody's
later,
gonna
you're
look
like,
at that.
no, that's the thing though. You go
No,
through
no,
your
no,
stuff
when people
later
want
and
your
you're like,
tax
tax
returns, Jake."
documents, drag to trash can, delete. I finished those ages ago.
And then don't have to worry about it.
I mean, that's true. You don't have to worry about the tape if you don't keep the dumb tape. I don't know, probably blackmail material, right? What else is
that's
law
what
going
I
to
guess.
do with it?
But
I
that's
don't know. It seems like a dumb plan.
that the whole story of the plan and how what went down will be later explained. So yeah.
Actually, wait, no. What is the doctor's plan? What does he get out of this?
He brings people over. He's a
Okay,
people
we'll
person.
get to that. We'll get to that, right? And we can discuss how much of nothing it is. That is described, at least.
He is the harbinger. I think that's a word.
See, I feel
I mean,
like
it is a word.
I feel like I understand the, like, story more now that we've uncovered that dumb number 666 on the case file.
Oh, really?
I'm like, oh, that's what they meant with this story. That's dumb.
Gotcha. I must say, there's a lot of images, not shapes, in this story that are interesting.
What are the shapes?
A lot of triangles.
That's it. That's the one shape. There's not other shapes.
But see, there are many of them.
There's no
know.
special
I don't-
circles.
I was gonna say, if I had to look at a shape, like, I don't think a triangle is necessarily evil.
I
but
don't.
at least,
I
like,
don't know. That three man.
At least fear of circles has an actual phobia associated with it.
Oh.
I don't know what the name is, but it's a
Oh,
thing.
tryptophobia or whatever.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, that's
No,
a lot
it's
of little
spherophobia.
holes,
Spherophobia.
which is
Sphere.
I mean-
Shut up.
And then fear of triangles, it's triangleophobia.
you should really
It's-
name
no.
things. Okay, so she discovers special secret tape that the doctor was hiding in his safe.
And then instead of investigating right away, goes to the gym?
Well, she didn't have anything to look at the tape with, I'm assuming. Well, actually, I guess maybe she could have just looked for it, but
Nah, it's
I don't know.
fine. She'll get to it.
It's bizarre to be like, oh, I just found, let's say like a CD player or a CD that's labeled secret evidence.
yeah. She went,
And then the first step is not, I gotta find a CD player. I'll just go to the gym.
well,
Get a couple miles on the space treadmill.
She's got to play it cool.
her thought was very logical. I must clear my head. How do you clear your head? Go to the gym.
I guess.
They have a really nice gym on that place. I expected like one treadmill. They have treadmills for everybody to be running at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, for this to be the only time that we see it used.
The majority of the ship is really supposed to come off as like alien style grungy and like, not so much the room. So they have a really nice exercise room in my opinion.
Yep.
Yeah, probably too nice.
Should take that away.
Hey, they need to be fit.
Especially for at most like 2 people to use. At least 2 people we see. Maybe people use it off screen, but
Yeah. And
I'm not going to give them the benefit
I
of the
also
doubt.
assume it's like very early or late at night. So very early in the morning or late at night.
Well, relative because
It's
space,
space.
but
That's fair.
because
It's all
what's the
dark.
sun
What do you
rising
mean?
or
What do you
setting
mean?
against?
It's Alaska. We're talking about Alaska at that point.
Well, yeah, but you can still, depending on where you live, you can still see the sun sometimes.
You just
There,
see
the sun is just
always.
out there.
Just depends on which
Anyway.
side of the ship you're on, right?
You go to the gym and then
She-
stumble into the cook lady, who she also has a weird positive relationship with.
She says
Which
the
is
food
kinda
is really
bizarre.
good, which I thought she was being sarcastic
Yeah, I
earlier.
thought
Nah.
it'd be like, it's just suck.
She's
like
like,
airplane food.
thanks for the great food.
Mhm.
Like after getting like her splorch hot dog or whatever. Anyway,
Is
yeah.
that the brand name? Splorch hot dog?
Oh man, that's a cream-filled hot dog.
Oh, that's...
No, what? No.
Except Twinkies don't have hot dogs
Yeah, they're not hot
in the
dogs.
middle.
Oh, God, if I've been
New
there and
idea.
there was a hot dog in the middle, I
Well,
don't know what I'd do. but it
Savory
wouldn't be
and
good.
sweet.
Oh, yeah, just a hot dog, but with like Twinkie bun instead.
Isn't that just like...
actually, that's pretty good. That's a good idea.
I mean, corn dogs that have cheese in the middle.
Ew. But
I don't know. That's I don't
Those are
know.
popular, man.
wow, this
I
is
hate that
a very
I
big
hate that we
tangent.
birthed this idea, but we can't unbirth it now.
Okay, so she gets to read the tape because the chef like lets loose a little information that Alex casually asks for. How do I read microfilm? Which not in this case,
He's like,
but
I have work to catch up to. It's like, okay, I don't think anybody knows. What does Anna do?
Alex.
Alex. Yeah,
Oh my
names,
God.
whatever. Sue me.
Alex and Amber. Are they twins?
Yes?
They
Unclear.
look like twins as children, but when they're adults, they
Yeah,
look
but
like
kids
different
all kind of
ages.
look like each other.
So
I
here's
mean,
what
why
was
else would they have the same like letter for the first name? Only people do that
That's
dumb
true.
naming system with twins. You should never do that.
name
You
your
shouldn't do
kids with the same first letter?
Very similar names for twins. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Alex
well,
and
yeah.
Amber, which they're not too similar, but still a first letter like that. You're setting yourself up for disaster.
I see.
Okay. Secret contents of tape revealed.
That guy didn't kill himself. Surprise.
And the captain's like, I don't know how he died, but you gotta make sure it's written down as a suicide, because I could get in trouble.
Yeah.
And then Alex is mad, goes and confronts the captain in the engine room, the only place he ever lives. Once again, she just like runs into there, just let in. It's like
Oh.
yes.
I just thought it was really weird this interaction between her and the captain. It was like the captain was very forthcoming. I was like, what?
That captain is the most, he's like, I like money. they paid me off, so I looked the other way. I'm sorry, Alex. It's like, not even the least bit like, hey, mind your own business. It's just like, I had to.
It's like, oh yeah, feel bad for me. I got blackmailed and got all this money.
And then they just
and it's also bizarre because it's like, I don't know if you guys read it this way, but it's almost romantic.
No, I was about to say, my next note is, are they gonna kiss? WTF?
I don't know. I can see what you're saying, but it was...
They're standing so
They
close.
just keep getting closer.
They're like staring into each other's eyes, dude.
Yeah, I'm just like, I don't want to agree with that.
Just
because it didn't happen.
How many stories
But
are we going to read that are almost going to be ruined by romance? Stop putting romance in stories. It's 2022. We've moved past the need for romance.
He's, of course, kidding. All right?
He's speaking for himself. Serious.
Talon, are you the protector of romance?
Okay.
No,
I will be serious for a second. Stop shoehorning romance into stories where it doesn't need to be there.
Yes, agreed.
It's also...
This story did not have to have any romance. I don't know why they wrote it like that. I don't know if it was the script or the art or whatever. It shouldn't have been there.
It's just weird. I don't feel like him admitting to, like, being blackmailed into covering up someone's death should come off as such a bonding point for him and Alex. That's the thing, though. He wasn't even blackmailed. He's like, I got blackmailed to look the other way. They were smuggling things, and that dude died, and I didn't want people to find out.
He wasn't blackmailed. He was just like, oh no, I was paid off. Like, straight up.
No, so he got a lot of money to look the other way when they were smuggling stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then once the dude smuggling stuff died, then he was like, oh, people can't find out about this. So he was covering up the fact that he was being paid off.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's not even blackmail like you're saying.
Yeah.
I mean, when you get paid off, though, it does come with like an implicit, like, hey, if we're paying you to make sure you don't look at this, you got to make sure other people don't look at this, all right?
The fact that Alex is like, I'm not here to judge you. And I'm like, that's all you do. Do it for once.
Man, yeah. And then the captain was like, he was like, wait, how do you know? And he's like, never mind, I don't want to pry. Like, what?
I feel like you should know.
Hey, how'd you find out my deep dark secret? Oh, never mind. It's none of my business. So dumb.
Huh.
Okay, so then, like, Alex stumbles into the fact that, like, the first mate, who I haven't mentioned up to this point, but she's been around making mean faces at Alex, Zia. It comes out that Zia and Kyril are working together on this stuff, and Alex is looking too closely into it.
And so was Amber.
Well, we don't find that out till later.
Oh.
But Alex ends up getting sick again, has to go to Lon, the doctor, and he gives her some stuff to drink. Unfortunately, comes out he drugged her, and she, before it really takes effect of her, he starts acting creepy to her and asking her what the gravity drive pretty much showed her. He's like, was it beautiful? And all that. Acting creepy. So she punches him lights out.
I honestly thought it was the gravity drive messing with her.
I thought it was her hallucinations again.
Yeah. But no.
Nah, he's just a creep. I mean, we should have known the moment you have a bald character. They're evil.
Man, honestly, I thought he was going to be a nice guy. I really did.
Yeah, bald evil, and man, I know it's the future, but like those glasses, like those can't look stylish. Like I don't believe it.
He seemed like a chill guy, but we should have known. The signs were all there.
Well, we can't really trust anyone whose last name is Wells.
Well.
Get rid of him.
Yep.
So Alex, after knocking Dr. Lon Wells out, she runs over to Kyril, her neighbor's room, and she asks for drugs.
Mm-hmm. Specifically, dragon's blood.
Wolf's blood.
Wolf's blood. Which,
to be honest, is a pretty cool name for a fake drug.
It is the only good name for these fake drugs. Because like on the next issue opens up with like a splash of like all the other drugs, and the other ones are like Mash, Zor, and Zazzle Gum. Like, come on, guys.
Hell yeah,
better than that.
Some Zazzle Gum.
I will say I don't like the fact that the wolf's blood looks like water. I feel like
eye drops.
Nah, you gotta
should be
commit.
red, right?
It should be red. Blood.
You're right.
You're putting blood in your eye.
This entire book is devoted to like cool imagery. The one time they could have had like blood coming down her eye.
I feel like that would have been too close to Cowboy Bebop, even for this story.
I regret to inform you that this story feels like it devolves into references to other stuff outside of the issues we've read. So.
Oh, does it? Oh, unfortunately.
I can't wait to talk about it, but yes.
So wait, have you read the all that's out currently of Southern Cross? Forgot what we read for a minute.
I have not read all that's out. I have looked at the last issue that was ever released because I was curious on how much things change between then and there. I will talk about once we get to it. Okay. So yeah, Alex, in order to counter that fact that she's been drugged by Lon, she takes wolf's blood, which apparently I think it's slightly alluded. I mean, obviously she knows about it, but also I think she's taken it before, is what we're supposed to get from this. And at first I thought she was just like going into withdrawal and she really needed some, but it comes out taking drug counters other drug. It's like that thing where you drink NyQuil and then you drink a Monster Energy. They cancel each other out.
I don't know if we have to say it, but don't mix your drugs if you're taking drugs.
I mean, NyQuil isn't even
don't take drugs.
I mean,
B,
obviously,
don't mix them if you are taking them.
It's just not good for you. It's not good for your body. It don't feel great, man. I don't know that personally, but I suspect so. Anyway, yeah, so she takes drug to counter other drug. And then she goes to the captain's place. What is it called?
And just doesn't even mention that, like, Doctor was acting super creepy and tried to drug her. Just says, like, oh, taking a nap, don't worry about it.
Okay, we will get to that in a moment, because that is, like, so funny. Where she talks to the captain, and they're talking about the gravity drive. She has figured everything out. She goes, the gravity drive, the surges it's giving out, and then the ship keeps being taken off course in these funny surges. She's like, they probably echo each other, and comes to the conclusion that the gravity drive is signaling to something. And they're like, what is it? And she's like, I don't know. I can just feel it. She's special, I guess.
She has a connection to the gravity drive. We haven't explained that. So at this point, we kind of assume that Amber is in the gravity drive.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we keep seeing like something that people say is Amber, like poking out of the gravity drive, which is weird, but like could just be that Anna? This is crazy. Whatever.
No. You're talking about the main character, Alex. Yeah. There's that girl who went missing, Erin, and then Alex's sister, Amber.
Yeah.
Why is it like this?
Wow, 3 girls.
Why is it like this?
Anyway, yeah, so we keep seeing little like panels throughout this of the gravity drive, and then someone within it trying to call out to
it looks like there's some sort of spirit or person's face within the gravity drive.
Yeah.
I really feel like Outer Darkness prepared me for this.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I immediately just assumed, like, oh, do they have, like, Amber's soul trapped in the gravity drive? They just keep having to feed souls to it or something?
Yeah,
That's
runs
the price
on
of gravity
in some way.
Is human souls.
It is a grave situation.
Oh my god, that's how the Earth works. human souls needed for gravity.
I don't
What?
think... What about... Hold on. Wait a second.
I mean, people haven't stopped dying on Earth.
But what about all
big
the places... Hold on. What about all the other places where humans aren't that still have gravity?
What are you talking about? Not enough
Like,
people
we
have
could-
died. My chest
Is
hurts.
this...
Oh, what do you even mean? Now that people have time.
In order to power the Earth, people need to die, and that's why people have been dying on Earth. The big mystery.
So hold on. Are you saying that if we left Earth to another planet, A, there'd be no gravity, but B, we wouldn't die?
No, we'd start dying.
Oh, we'd start dying to give gravity to the other planet. Okay. All right, now that you've explained it more, now I'm on board.
No, I like the idea of like, we each have our own gravitational pull because we're mass, right? So all of us collected, we
Sure.
keep the moon in place. And so, if we start dying, the moon will just float away.
Trying to make this too scientific.
All right, can we... Oh,
Stop
man.
trying to add science to my theory of gravity.
Can we get back to the story?
Yeah.
Can't believe I'm asking, but man...
Okay, Alex rushes off after making this amazing discovery that the gravity drive is calling out to something in space. She runs off to interrogate Zia, first mate, who, tried to stop her from talking to the captain just a moment ago. And so she interrogates Zia in the bathroom. And Zia just was like, okay, you want to know about this, I'll tell you about it. Which,
Mhm.
every character is like that.
Yeah, she starts sweating buckets too. Like literally dropping onto her boot.
Okay, so there's weird stones that were found on Titan.
And not Infinity Stones. Do not get that confused.
The organized crime back on Earth, particularly the Seven Hands group, which it's alluded to that Alex used to be a part of, and it's alluded to, it's alluded to that Cairo is part of because of his tattoos, as we said previously. Wanted these special artifacts taken back to Earth, so they were being smuggled. And then,
I think the sister found out.
not said yet, but yes, comes out. And then something went wrong, and the dude smuggling them back to Earth died.
Well, so he just never made it back. But no one knows why. It seems like.
Yeah. I mean, he died,
Mhm.
and so and then the artifacts, they're not sure where they are now.
Mhm. Yeah.
She describes them as special stones that are not of this realm or whatever.
Well, yeah, I bookmarked it because I kind of have a problem with it. They say not of this world. And they found them on Titan,
Right.
the moon of Jupiter. By definition, it can't be of this world. And they treat it like it's such a big deal.
I mean, they said world. They didn't say, it's not from Titan. Maybe it's from Earth. Titan is stealing our stones.
Hey, get your own stones.
It's an issue of the phrasing where it's like
Yeah.
afterwards she starts walking away. It's like, what did she mean? She said not of this world. What could it mean? It's like, it's aliens. Like, come on, guys. Come on.
No.
It's aliens, or it's an ancient race that used to live on Titan, which would make them aliens.
No.
Like, how is this? How are you confused by this?
No,
See,
Jake.
I just assumed she meant not of this reality.
Yeah.
There's something that's just really reality breaking about them.
Right. See, no, Jake, she had the same objection that you did, right? She's like, what do you mean? It's on Titan. It's obviously from another world. It's like, what does she mean by that?
I feel like you're giving these people too much credit.
Okay. Then she just walks in to the doctor who tried to drug her 3 scenes ago or something. So Lon is in the cafeteria, hanging out, having a meal, alone.
Like you didn't get assaulted by a patient that you also kind of tried to assault, but it's fine.
No, so she literally walks in, he's like, oh my god, I thought the thing would have knocked you out. Like, you were in the room. You woke up in the room after she knocked you out. She wasn't there, dude. Where did you think she was? Probably just collapsed in the hallway.
Yeah, like asleep in a room.
But the fact that he's like just hanging out having a meal, acting like he didn't just... I don't know. I feel like he should feel more threatened by the fact that he might be exposed very soon.
True.
It's cool, though.
Or at the very least, like, whoa, don't come here. Do not sit down. Go away.
Okay, that should be what Alex should be doing. Alex is like, yeah, you tried to, drug me.
Well, no, she's going to him for information.
It's so dumb. He's like, well, I'll tell you everything. Let's go back to your room, and I can show you something crazy. And then they go, and she just follows him. She's like,
Yeah,
okay,
I'm sure. Yeah,
let's go to a second location.
I'm glad. Yeah, second location, bad idea. Don't go to the second location.
And then he's like, it should have been in here. And he ends up making a creepy Aaron apparition come out of the wall. Some sort of corpse-looking thing of Aaron.
Oh, and also he has the stone, so...
And then he pulls out his own special triangle, tiny triangle, which we are supposed to immediately understand is the special stones from Titan.
Which, I mean, okay, you're perfectly shaped like a pyramid. That's an odd... Does that appear naturally?
I wouldn't have called it a stone, obviously.
Yeah.
Although, I guess special triangles we found on Titan doesn't sound quite as right.
Well, it's like Smallville. Like, Smallville season 4 had a whole, like, a sub-mission where, like, they try to find the stones, but, like, the stones do not look like stones. Like, one is, like, reflective silver, and it's just, like... But they call it a stone.
Sure.
And then one's just like transparent, and they call that a stone.
So, do the people who've seen it decide to call it a stone? Or is
Wait,
it like...
is this kryptonite? Are you just not saying kryptonite?
No, this isn't kryptonite.
Okay.
Who referred to them as stones?
I feel
Even if he answers, we won't know.
It was like mythology. Like, basically, there were people who were trying to search for it, and they referred to it as stones.
I mean, when you want to allude to stuff in a vague way, you call them stones, obviously.
I suppose, yeah.
Which...
Do you?
Well,
wait, did I just agree to something I don't agree with?
I don't care, actually, about this conversation. So
I can't believe we made it to Smallville.
Yes!
Like,
yes! Jake, okay, so someone just told me that they started watching Smallville. I got one!
Because of you, or just, like, through poor life choices?
I assume because of me, because I brought it up to them.
Okay.
No, they're not making poor life choices. They're making good life choices.
No,
it's good.
See, I haven't seen Smallville, so I can't actually say it's a poor life choice. But I do think my life's pretty good. I don't think Smallville will make it better.
Oh, well, you don't know what you're missing out?
Yeah. Something you can say doesn't mean it's true.
And we'll just never know.
So then, at the same time as the Aaron corpse thing is coming out of the wall, they end up the captain has to shut down the gravity drive.
Because they're being pulled in by whatever, like, there's like a portal that opened up.
Yeah, it's... Okay, my recollection of this part is kind of weird, because does Alex run away? Yeah, she runs away, she runs to the engine room, where of course the captain's gonna be. They end up having to turn off the gravity drive / Alex gets sucked into the gravity drive special triangle portal thing. Yeah. And it's almost like she, like, ascends this plane of reality for a moment. I mean, we don't get to see what she sees. when they shut off the gravity drive, they're able to get Alex back. Which also, they shut off the gravity drive, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
But then, so is it... They turn it back on, though, because everybody has gravity.
To be fair, I don't know what the gravity drive does.
Gravity.
Yeah, because they turn it off, and then, like, not only, like, because they get, like, the...
Everybody starts floating.
Yeah, everybody starts floating,
Is
and you
that
get
really
the
what
montages,
happened?
then it's like... there's another dumb panel with, like, forced romance, because Kiro and Zia are, like, sleeping together, which is...
Why?
Okay,
That's
first of all, that's
imagine-
not romance. That's just them, like, giving into their carnal urges.
Well, it just doesn't need to be there.
Yeah,
Just don't
that's
put it
fair.
in.
Yes.
I'm just gonna say, like, seems really inappropriate for the moment, because Zia's like, yeah, I just revealed all of, like, the special plans, and we're being found out. Anyway, wanna hang out?
Yeah, we are being discovered right now.
The secret plan we're trying to protect, and which we will kill to protect, is being found out. I need a break, though. What? So dumb. Nobody
After they already
acts like
said it's
anything
too
like...
dangerous to hang out together, like, to be seen. Like, come on.
Just disappear for an inordinate amount of time. While the captain is, like, struggling with the gravity drive downstairs.
Yeah, you think the first mate might want to be involved?
And nobody asks where she is. I don't know.
Not yet, anyway.
It's so dumb. Okay.
Yeah, so...
So, yeah. Turn off the
so,
gravity engine.
Just
turn it
in
back
time
on
to, like...
get them back.
Yeah, to get Alex back for a moment. And Alex looks frazzled, but she recovers very quickly. Like, she's like, I saw my sister. And, like, I'm imagining at that moment that she saw, like, beyond our reality, like, just weird mind-bending experience. But they're like, okay, you need to go get Zia. Like, we need help. Like, things are going crazy here. Okay, wait, no.
Oh, yeah, and then Lon goes crazy.
No, so she comes back. Yeah, she comes back. Lon appears. Yeah, she comes back. She's like, I saw my sister when I was in there. And she told me
to look behind.
Watch out behind him or whatever.
And then he sliced Remy LeBeau's neck.
Yeah, and then Lon is there. Slices one of the engineers' necks or whatever. Minor character. Who is not memorable. Except for his name.
Which is not Remy LeBeau, by the way.
It's Achilles.
Yeah. Wait, like the Achilles tendon getting sliced.
That's in the
I don't know, but he
not
gets his
there.
throat
It's
sliced. It's not his... the tendon's not in your neck.
Lon just reaching down and slicing his... And then they get to have a little fight between Lon, the captain, and Alex. And why is Alex so important? Like, Lon is like, the great devourer is asking for Alex Braith. It's like, why does anybody care about her?
Wait, is the gravity drive one of the stones?
Yes?
Okay,
Maybe.
so we were debating over what the gravity drive does, right?
Yeah.
Like, provides gravity, maybe? Question mark? Why would they call it a gravity drive otherwise?
I just don't think it does.
It moves
though.
the ship, for sure.
Yes.
But the fact that they only just installed it for this trip, what were they doing before?
They
Not
they had
having
to
gravity?
They had to decommission the old one, I guess.
Okay, the way they say it, it makes me assume they're like, yeah, we got a gravity drive, new and improved thing. Like,
Yeah.
thing we
And, like,
didn't have before.
It's weird, because they don't say, like, it's the first one that's being fielded. It's like, we just got it. So, like,
Okay.
I would assume other places have it, too. And it
This
doesn't...
one's
It
haunted,
must not
though.
do this.
I just
Like, it can't do this. Because who would...
It would help a lot, if they would, like, maybe went into it more. Like, man, it's acting up. This is weird. This is not new technology. We had a previous gravity drive 2.0, and it worked fine. Or, like, this is top of the line. Like, everybody keeps recommending it.
Man, I knew we shouldn't have installed Windows 11.
well,
Don't
see,
install Windows 11. Don't do it.
that's what I assumed was going on. Was that they
Personal
basically
recommendation.
had an older version of the gravity drive, and they were just like, "Oh, we're going for the new and improved model." And
But
then,
like you're saying, we're assuming because we're never told.
true.
I mean, this
And maybe it's
comic,
just nobody's
like-
died on the ship before, because it seems like the stones capture souls? Question mark.
the
Don't
other
even
dude
know.
died.
Well, yeah, and then Aaron died, so maybe they can only hold one.
Yeah, no one explains how they ended up in the gravity drive either.
Because like there is like, you know, to give it a little bit of credit, Alex,
The main
talks
character.
is yes.
Okay,
Okay,
yeah,
good.
yes.
Got it right at least
Yes.
once. Talks a lot about she feels like her sister isn't on Titan, just her bones are. Like her
Gotcha.
like she is somewhere else.
Yeah.
Which I thought was like, oh, it's just a twin magic or whatever. She's dead. You can't feel her anymore. Whatever.
Okay.
But it could be like her soul isn't actually on Titan anymore.
Yeah. Gotcha. It could be.
I mean, she says.
I know it's a lot of credit to give this book. Don't get me wrong.
One of the first monologues she does is like about the fact that her sister's body / bones are on Titan. She goes, but I hope she's somewhere far, far away. A better place.
Yeah, that's what I assumed. Was just that she died.
But it's file number 666. Remember.
It is though. So, but no,
Yeah.
as she says later, Lon. Okay, so Lon's like telling them that we're gonna have eternal life in the membrane of a new host. That's why he's been working towards this with the special triangles, sabotaging stuff. Because like they're saying, they think somebody's been sabotaging the gravity drive.
Yeah. Which actually
then-
I assumed was Zia. Working
I
with.
mean, anybody can walk in there.
Apparently, yeah. Yeah.
So, doesn't matter. Anybody. Any of the backstabbers could have been doing it. And I love how the captain, like, they're able to, like, take down Lon and take the special triangle from him. And the captain's like, I gotta work on the gravity drive. You know, things are out of control. He's like, Alex, take the special triangle. Which, I'm sorry, they don't call it that. But, like, he just gives it to her. Like, this very obviously enchanted, like, something's up with this triangle. Just gives it to Alex. Take care of it. And he's like, go get Zia. Like, I need the first mate. Like, we need to get this under control. Alex runs off with the triangle to find Zia. She runs into Kyril, who's like, oh, you're looking for Zia? She's at my room. I'll take you to her. Friend.
Yeah.
Doesn't say that, but
Should be
she's
suspicious.
Alex is just willing to follow anyone, even if she knows they're a backstabber.
Or just like
take-
generally evil.
Untrustworthy.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I wouldn't say that Kiril's evil. He's just prizes money over morality, which is, yeah, you know.
Evil.
Okay, so obviously he just like smashes
No,
Alex over the head.
I think it's actually Zia who does that.
No, he does. Either way, him and Zia up against Alex. They steal the triangle. It comes out it's one of the artifacts that was being smuggled to Earth. And, you know, obviously Kyril is here to make sure it actually happens this time.
Yep.
They handcuff Alex to a pipe. And then, you know, Kyril's like, I don't care about you enough to kill you. But Zia hates you. And he just leaves. And then Zia's like, gets mad at Alex. Alex is like, you killed my sister, didn't you? And Zia's like, I had to. She was going to expose everything. And she starts trying to strangle Alex. And it makes the pipe that Alex is handcuffed to come undone. And
Somehow.
does that thing that they always do. Steam in the face.
I will say, what's interesting is that the first mate says, I never meant for this to go so far. And then the next panel, she starts choking Alex again. So I'm like, that seems out of place here. Like, or you're lying?
Okay, she also, like, the moment Alex picks up a pipe, Zia's not like, I'm gonna fight back. She's like, I never meant for this to go this far. sorry.
Like, I know I was about to kill you, but like,
Yeah.
just get over it.
Like, I don't know. Maybe that says something about Zia. The fact that Zia's not like trying to kick Alex from down there, not still putting up a fight. She just lets Alex pummel her.
No, that's giving the story too much credit.
Also, yeah, minor spoiler alert, because Zia doesn't die right here, but she really should.
Alex must not give
beat in the head with a space pipe. She should be super dead.
Okay, Alex just picked up like a hot steam pipe, bare hands. It's gonna use it
You
as
don't
a
know
weapon.
that it's steam. It's just,
Well, but it's hot.
Space
kind of
steam.
smoky.
It should be hot though.
We don't know. Gases can be cold.
I don't know. Maybe it has really good insulation. She's not touching the inside.
Yeah, that's true.
Kind
But
of
yeah,
sucks.
should be dead, because it's a good sized pipe, and she
Alex
gets
is
a
like,
lot of
"Oops."
wax in.
She should at least have like brain damage.
And like Zia is not defending herself at all. Doesn't get her hands up. Like she takes them all to the dome.
Oh my god.
Like
And that just bothers me so much about that scene. The fact that she's just like,
I guess I'll
lays
accept
there
it.
and lets herself get pummeled.
I just imagine being Zia right now and hearing you guys talk. It's like, what do you mean I let her? Okay, she got the upper hand.
No, Alex is approaching her in the room with a pipe, and Zia's like, "Sorry, I did this." Like
They have time to exchange dialogue between each other before she starts going at her.
Zia's not crawling away. Zia's not picking something up as a weapon. She's not putting her hands in front of her face.
She just takes it.
Gotcha.
Doesn't die.
I will say, I guess it kind of makes their scene in the bathroom kind of makes sense because she seems a bit out of it, like, oh my gosh. Well, she says she's way in over her head. So maybe she's not as ruthless as we think.
That's what I mean. That's what I
Yeah.
mean. Like, if Zia was supposed to be like an evil character, I feel like she would have been given a chance more to defend herself, unfortunately.
Gotcha.
Like, if there was this lawn, I don't know, I guess he probably still would have just gotten beaten up. I don't know. I don't really understand these characters.
Me either. But yeah,
I
then,
don't feel like their reactions would have been that uniquely different.
but yeah, Alex escapes and then goes after Kyril.
Yeah.
Sends him. He gets in a little pod, shoots off, and then she's like, "Ha! Got the thingy, got the stone, the triangle."
She's like, "You remembered that I work for the Seven Hands in the past, but you didn't know what I worked as. Master Thief."
Mm-hmm.
So do you when you're filling out your taxes, do you put that down as your job? Just master thief?
No, you say odd jobs here and there.
I'll be real, she didn't really act like a Master Thief most of the time.
I mean, she picked that safe open. That's kind of a master thief thing
Okay.
to do.
But like once.
She's like, man, first issue or whatever, where she's like, Aaron's looking into my sister's death, which I must find answers to. And I don't respect authority, so I'm gonna find out the truth. Then she's like, I should talk to her about it. I feel like if you truly were a person who had major living as a thief, she would have just been like, I'm gonna steal those files. I'm gonna look through her stuff right now.
Or woken her up. Like she was right there.
She's so cute when she snores. I'm like, stop that.
Right. That's right.
You little weirdo. Can't believe Alex said that.
I'm gonna assume that Alex was arrested and in prison at one point, and so she
Yes.
did her time.
Yes.
Gotcha.
But someone who has become to the point where they're hired by organized crime because they're a master thief, I feel like should probably think more like a master thief.
Yeah.
She's not even good at sneaking around, really.
Although
She just wanders into places.
I feel.
That is a little bit thiefish.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. I mean, she just so easily asked questions and they answer them. So there you go.
That part where she was looking at the tape and found out about the cover-up,
Yeah.
and Zia was just behind her,
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
and then she just left the room.
Yeah, that was
Didn't
weird.
see Zia. Master thief.
The way that was drawn was that Zia was definitely in her eyesight. At least the way she was walking.
I don't know.
Mm. But yeah, then, I don't know, tentacles shoot out of this portal and tries to bring in the Southern Cross.
It comes out the ship's, this entire time the ship's been on one direction towards a portal, and there hasn't been anybody really stopping it from doing that. So
yeah, it's definitely weird that there are only 2 people who can work on the engine at any time.
Nobody else
seems
cares.
like an oversight.
Well, to be fair, everyone else is dead.
We don't know that everybody else is dead.
Everyone else who could have worked on
the
Alex literally runs past 2 dudes. And, think about it. If the ship is, messing up, wouldn't you, go see the captain? Wouldn't you they're, walking by, and they're like, hey, Alex, you ever find that girl who's missing? Or, your dead sister?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, I can't remember who they ask her about.
Actually, yeah, that recontextualizes the ending here. Because, they frame it as, a heroic sacrifice. But they're also dragging along everybody else who's on the ship.
Okay, wait. So, they ask her if she ever found her roommate of her bunk, Aaron, and she's like, oh, she's dead, sort of.
Yeah.
So, I guess we are given a slightly definitive answer that these people are not necessarily dead. They're undead, probably.
They're kind of dead.
So, after Alex saves the special triangle from being taken by Chiral, it seems that she feels that this artifact is so important that it's worth dying for.
Mm.
Except she also is like, this isn't the end. This is the beginning. Alex, you don't know that. Be quiet.
Hey, wasn't it Jake that was saying if he had a chance to go through a black hole, he'd take it?
But this isn't a black hole.
Oh.
This is a weird interdimensional
It's a
portal.
wormhole.
Different.
Oh, I see.
I love the fact that her whole thing is she chooses we go through the wormhole and hope that it closes behind us. You don't even know that this sacrifice is going to do anything.
Only one thing can go through. Either way.
But you don't know that it's going to lock behind you. So she's doing this. She's like, we got to die for this. We got to close this wormhole. But she doesn't even know that this is going to close the wormhole. Might as well try it.
Mm-hmm.
The end.
Yeah, your situation won't get any less dire, but it also won't get any more dire, I suppose.
To be honest, I don't think she had a choice there about whether they were going in or not. The ship was kind of going in already.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you just reframe it. Because they also say it's kind of a dumb dialogue thing, but it's like, oh, this isn't important enough to kill for, but it is important enough to die for. Man, I feel like if you asked most people that those are interchangeable.
Well, actually, I'd argue that it's easier to kill for something than to die for something. So,
I don't know. I feel like that goes more into philosophy.
Yeah,
I'm just saying it is a dumb dialogue choice.
Yeah. And
sort of like not being of this world, that thing you found on something that's not Earth.
True. And so then the volume ends with these people who are like, hey, we've lost contact with the Southern Cross. And they're like, how do you lose a ship?
Which, fair question.
I mean, it literally, they're like, well, where'd it go? Did it veer off course? No, it disappeared in, mid-air. I mean, mid-space.
Mm-hmm.
They're like,
Right.
Although,
oh my god, Bermuda Triangle, huh?
Oh, yeah. This crew of dudes, I don't know if they're the villains, but they look like the villains.
They look awesome.
They look like a ragtag team of villains. They got Crossbones, they got Casey Jones, they got Black Mask.
That they're the Seven Hands. They feel very well.
I assume.
I mean, I'm pretty sure because they keep framing a certain way that the corporation's evil, the one that owns the ship, Zemi. So that's who I assumed they were immediately. Because,
okay.
who would be paying attention to where their ship is more?
I assumed
No,
it was
they don't look
the
like
Seven
corporate
Cross.
evil though.
That's the thing, though. They don't look like corporate evil, which is why I'm like, okay, they're probably the Seven Hands then.
Or Seven Hands, yeah.
Is there 7 of them there? Better not be.
1, 2, 3, 4,
They appear to
5,
be
6. Yep.
Counting the man sitting there.
Yeah.
Yes.
The 7th one is probably on the ship.
Oh.
Oh yeah, the guy. Oh yeah, the only guy who got away. Which man, what a dirtbag for getting away.
I took a peek at issue 14 because this is where we left off here is issue 6. Took a look at issue 14. Pleased to say, I'm pretty sure Kyril is there, and he has the great line of always thought of myself as would make a great lesbian.
What?
What a hero!
What does that mean?
Is he the hero?
He's saying
maybe
it in
here's one
reference
word.
to finding out somebody's a lesbian. He's like, I always thought I'd be a great lesbian.
Is he the protagonist?
No, Alex is still there, and so is like a
Wait, what
bunch
do you
of
mean?
other characters.
Well, this is issue 14, Jake.
Yes. I don't know how. And then I see somebody who looks like a vampire, and then there's a scene that...
I bet that's that guy sitting down here.
It's a girl.
Oh.
But anyway.
I don't think he looks like. Yeah.
Never mind.
I don't think he particularly looks like a vampire either.
I see it.
Okay. But there's a scene that makes me think of Aliens with like a machine gun like thing, Aliens 2. Aliens, literally. Alien and then aliens. And then there's like a direct ripoff scene from the Shining bartender scene, pretty much.
Oh.
So
Yeah. So it gets a little referential, is what I'm hearing.
little.
Gotcha.
That don't make no sense. I mean, obviously, I haven't read the next 8 issues, but I don't know how this is gonna all relate to each other, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't see how like the journey from where we are now with the whole ship dead or in
There's so many people. There's so
space
many people.
purgatory.
We know that
Yeah,
at the very
probably.
least they started evacuations. I don't know if they finished. You know, they got everybody.
Evacuate to where?
Just chilling.
The
Cairo got out.
what was his name?
Accepted.
Maury was like, "Hey, get the first mate so we can start evacuations." I think is what he said.
And then she never got the first mate,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
evacuations didn't start.
Maybe. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Because yeah, it's framed as a heroic sacrifice, but we're never like shown anybody getting off the ship. So these two people just made a huge choice that affected like way more people than they thought.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a dirtbag move.
It's a really bad cruise ship ride.
Oh yeah, this sucks.
No, a cruise ship is not work related. They knew what they were getting into.
I don't know.
Mining?
This is a little different than just like getting a bus to your job. Like a bus doesn't take 6 days.
It's like you're on a cruise ship, and the captain is like, you know, I think we should make the heroic sacrifice and find out what's happening at the Bermuda Triangle. Is everybody coming along with me?
Which I guess, you know, they don't have time to like interview everybody to see if they want to make a heroic sacrifice. But also like you probably should ask.
I mean, isn't it a heroic sacrifice on behalf of probably the entire Earth's population?
Ah, I see.
Maybe, but we don't know.
This isn't really like the fires of Sauron, though. Like, they don't know.
All we know is that like they drove Lon crazy. We don't know like what the goal of this weird alternate dimension or like fifth dimensional race is.
eternal life
Well,
in the membrane of a new host.
yeah, but like being a part
Yeah,
of
but
it.
what does that even mean?
I don't know, making a new god. Whatever.
Yeah, it's unclear. We don't even know if it's bad. They could just be like chilling and like, hey, you know, just come on over.
So do you think Lon should have more of an evil villain speech where he tells them a little bit more about what like great things they're passing up?
Yeah, sure. I don't know, like, I get it's supposed to be horror, and we're just, like, not supposed to like it because it's different, but, like, I don't get enough of, like, I can see why the characters wouldn't like it, because it seems like it, like, all the stuff, the Gravity Engine sucks, but, like, just as a reader, I don't really get, like, the stakes that they're trying to present us with.
It's weird, but I do feel like they should have explained more stuff. I feel like they over-explained, like, really simple things. Like, you are being betrayed. You are being betrayed. Like, we are betraying every...
Yeah, pretty lame villain motivation. Just money? I don't know.
Are we talking about Lon still? Money? Or are we talking about...
Well, no, mostly Cairo and Zia. It's like,
okay.
yeah, I murdered for money, but, you know.
Well, see, here's the thing.
Took almost no steps to cover that up.
Okay, so, like, the whole mystery that starts at the beginning, right, is that, like, what happened to Amber? Why'd she die? Why'd she have to die? Just Zia killed her because she was going to find out they're smuggling special stones.
Yeah.
Uneventful to me.
Yeah, I gotta say, like, I got to the end and I was like, I don't care about these characters. I really don't.
It's like, yeah, I don't know if it's supposed to be a revelation, like, when we learn, like, who killed him, but, like, don't care.
Yeah.
And the character doesn't seem to care that much.
It doesn't change anything, does it? Okay. Well, let's talk a little bit about what parts we actually liked, and then we can get more into what we didn't like.
I did like the covers. The covers at the back by Becky Cloonan and, like, the stuff that's in between the issues. I liked that, except for one where it's like they're supposed to be like ads for, like, in-universe products. Like, there's one for coffee, there's one for shoes. There's ones for shoes that's just, like, a guy being, like, dissolved, like the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah. I actually
and
like
I'm
that
not
one.
sure. Like, it's cool. Don't get me wrong. Very visually interesting. But unclear on what it's supposed to be selling.
True.
Are the shoes so cool I'm going to melt when I put them on? Like, I don't want that.
You're just going to have a life-altering experience.
But it is very cool. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I didn't realize those were ads at first for, like, the in-universe stuff. I just, like...
Yeah, I did, and I was like, I just don't care enough to pay much attention to them.
Okay, guys. Well, I liked them, so...
That's the thing. Like, the universe seems really cool. But we don't get to really find out about it. Like, everything seems pretty much the same, man.
Man, you know what this volume should have been about? Is Anna just being a master thief on Earth, and then, like, at the end, hey, your sister's dead, you gotta go to Jupiter.
Alex. Yes.
Whatever.
I like how you've settled on a specific name that you think for her. It's Anna.
I got it right one time, alright?
1 out of 7 ain't bad.
So
Hey,
you're
you
saying
know
that
what?
more of Alex's backstory might have been interesting. Like, Earth sounds really interesting. Like, a lot of the things, like, on Titan sound more interesting than this. Like, being cramped in, like, a kind of generic inside spaceship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and this apparently, like, I don't know, this really crappy sci-fi company that doesn't care about safety or people. That'd be
Every
pretty cool,
sci-fi
too.
company?
Yeah.
What?
You know.
Not my sci-fi.
Weyland-Yutani, Aperture.
Finally, corporations will have a good representation.
Wait, what did you just say?
Like, they're all bad in sci-fi.
Saying that-
OCP, the people who made RoboCop, all bad.
I don't know sci-fi that well.
Oh, well.
I think, yeah,
Cyberdyne,
Talon's
who made
finally
the Terminator,
standing up for the
bad
little
time.
guy. The corporation.
They're the little guy.
I mean, that's the thing, though. It is very... It's almost like something that doesn't need to be spelled out, right? Like, a lot of things in this book where it's like, person over there who keeps glowering at you is evil. They're mean. And it's like, corporation doesn't care about you. Corporate secrets. Special new technology, like the gravity drive, is mysterious and going to cause chaos. Just like... might have something to do with spirits, which is, it's really vague on, are these spirits?
Yeah.
What are these?
Or is it just like weird hallucinations that like the stones are making you see?
Mm-hmm.
Which that could be, because like when they talked about like,
They never touch her, do they?
well,
They never get to do anything.
What do you mean?
They just disappear.
Oh,
the weird, like, yeah. But I mean, like, the way that it sounded to me is like when they talk about the engines malfunctioning, making people sick, making people hallucinate, that sounds like infrasound, which is like a real thing. And so that could be like maybe these stones are just vibrating really weird and making people like upset. I don't know.
But Alex can hear them. Whatever
But
that
Alex
means.
can hear them. Maybe she's got a weird ear, like a genetic mutation.
No. You guys, get it. They're Alex and Amber's souls are connected.
No, she
So
just
it's
has an
Amber's
ear.
soul in there, right?
That's what I'm guessing. Yeah.
Guessing. Because, like, doesn't... What are, like, the support... Oh my god, we are supposed to be talking about what we like about this.
I talked about something I liked, all right?
Okay.
Oh, okay. I will say it. So, I this is either like I like or ironically like, but I think it's interesting how Alex and Achilles look like X-Men characters. I was just like, that's weird to me, because like Alex looks like Rogue if Rogue had like Jean Grey's hair, or is it Jean Grey? Yeah.
It's a very
Yeah,
sci-fi
Jean Grey's
hair, to be
redhead.
fair.
Yeah.
And then we got Achilles looking like Gambit. That was funny.
Which, I don't know, other than the facial hair, bit of a stretch.
It's like an 80s haircut, right? Like all of those.
Wait, say it again?
I mean, all of those are sort of 80s things.
Yeah.
The haircuts is what I'm talking about specifically.
Gotcha. I don't know. I see it with like the whole like headgear that Gambit wears.
So yeah, you like the vague reference to
Yes.
thing you like.
Yes.
I mean, that tracks.
I'd say I really liked the beginning promises. Like, I was like, ooh, just like interesting ship, a lot going on here, sci-fi setting. I think once the captain was introduced, just really, like,
Yeah, I would agree with that. It just starts...
my new best friend, the captain. I need to go tell him that my bunkmate's missing. Have you tried checking elsewhere? Anyway, I thought the art was really interesting overall. I know, like, we're supposed to leave the art till last, but I don't care. Like, I liked the art in most parts. I definitely liked the covers more, and, like, I'm gonna say, I always think it's such false advertising to have different art for the covers and the interior. Stop doing that.
Ultimate Spider-Man, man.
I don't know. I don't feel that strongly about it.
Okay, I can understand with, like, very famous issue ones, like Spider-Man. Like, you have a bunch of different artists doing the cover variants. But, like, for this, which is supposed to be, like, one collected graphic novel eventually, just feels misleading.
Yeah, gotcha.
Especially think about it, if you're, like, buying it online.
Yeah.
Like, you can't open it.
True.
I don't know.
Yeah.
The colors I really liked, actually. I'd
Colors
say,
are
like,
very good. I did like that.
the shading was very weird at times. Sometimes it made the characters really unappealing looking to me. I think it's a little bit trying to be a throwback, though. Still, there's a throwback to a style I don't like anyway.
Wait,
So,
we'll throw back to like what?
it's hard for me to pinpoint. Because, like, they have a lot of character designs that feel very 80s and, like, 80s sci-fi stuff, I want to also say that, like, the thick shading... Not thick lines. Thick shading is also 80s style, but, like, can't really say that definitively. It definitely feels like a throwback to an older style that I've seen.
Yeah, it just, like, the whole book and also the ship itself has a sort of, like, kind of retro future kind of aesthetic, which I do like. It's
I
pretty
love
well
gritty
executed.
future. Yeah.
Well, you love what?
I love gritty future, like, aesthetic usually. Which is
That-
also why I was, like, had high hopes for this.
Is that what this style of art is called? Or well, maybe not art, but theme.
It's not called that specifically. I can't remember the specific name, but I'm thinking specifically Alien really set the bar for like lived in sci-fi spaces where they're like, yeah, this is sci-fi, but it still feels like people have to live here. You know, it gets dirty and stuff.
Okay.
Like not just clean, polished, untouched, sterile.
No, that is very sci-fi. That's weird.
I don't know. It depends on your like brand, because like Star Trek obviously is like super polished and everybody's like got a crisp uniform. And then like you look at Star Wars, like all the rebel ships look like hunks of junk. You can like see a bunch of like pieces of parts contrasted against like the Empire, and they're all like super clean.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, Star Trek is just a different kind of sci-fi. It's different.
Yeah.
So like I'm trying not to say my overall thoughts, but I will say, despite the fact that I found the story to be kind of lacking, it wasn't horrible to read it. Like, it wasn't an unenjoyable experience, but it definitely wasn't an enjoyable experience.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't know. I liked some of the stuff they did with panel layouts. Like there's a part where like they're going through the ship, and like as they're going and like walking down the hallway, they're traveling down and across the page. That was pretty cool. I like that.
That was very early on, though. So again, like something early on.
I will say I disagree with you with an asterisk about the painful, or that it wasn't painful.
So it was painful?
Yeah.
Did you like cut your hand or something?
Were you reading it and you like wanted to stop?
I was just like, let's just get through this. Because I read most of it yesterday. So I was like, I also have to read it all right now. So
it was pretty easy for me to get through, but that's kind of because everything feels uneventful and unimportant.
Gotcha.
So it's kind of a smooth reading experience.
I read it all in an afternoon. Like I never felt like I had to like struggle to keep reading, but it was definitely more out of obligation than wanting to read.
Yeah.
I guess this kind of goes against what I said a moment ago, but I did get to the end of issue 1. I was like, man, that was a short book. I was like, wait. There's 5 more.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, that's good. There's more. I think most of issue 1, I was like, okay, this could be interesting. I don't feel like there's any very surprising things.
Gotcha.
Like, yeah, I guess we will really go into what we don't like about it. But
I think just right now.
Yeah, there's not too much I can say.
I feel like we're out of things to say that we like.
Yeah, there's not a ton I can say I liked about it. Like art, there was a lot of promise in this book, I felt, and it did not really live up to that. So when I first picked out this book, I picked out the book, and then afterwards I looked at 2 reviews briefly. And of the reviews, they said that the main character is completely unlikable.
Which is mostly true.
I mean,
unless you're the captain or the cook.
I just don't hate her. I just think she's dumb, but I don't like. Usually, you know, you're like, oh, I really like the side characters, but I hate the main character or something. Nah, pretty much same feeling about them all. Like, nobody ever, like, the power dynamics never seem clear in any of the scenes because everybody just, like, glowers at each other.
Yeah.
And they're all, like, making a face at each other. I don't like you. So it feels like almost nobody ever feels, like, threatened, really. Like, the one time, like, the one scene, I guess, I do kind of like is first when Lon is kind of becoming creepy, you know? He's like, what did it show you? You know, the gravity drive. He's like, was it beautiful? And, like, Alex feels legitimately threatened in that second. She just knocks him out, though. So it's okay.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I will say, like, to me, that review of, like, completely unrelatable, like, I feel like that's a little bit extreme. I'm more like, yeah, I didn't like her, but I I could see like how someone could act like that. You know what I mean?
I know she seems for the most part believable.
Just not my kind of
times.
person.
It's not somebody I really care about going through a story with. I don't like her as a person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that's probably the biggest issue with like all the characters. Like none of them endear themselves to the reader or even attempt to.
I bet the
to each
chef.
other.
The chef might be the only one.
The chef
I was gonna
like,
say like if I had to pick a favorite, it'd be the chef.
Yeah.
'cause-
like vaguely nice and like there for 2 scenes.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, here's some chili." I'm like, "Aw."
with cinnamon in it, which I don't know.
Everybody says that's a secret ingredient.
Yeah.
Why is that's like in every story? They're like, "Don't tell anybody my secret ingredient is cinnamon."
Wait, is it specifically cinnamon or just a secret ingredient?
Usually cinnamon, and it's usually chili. I've definitely heard that in at least 2 other stories before. I'm like,
Gotcha.
guys, gotta stop giving this away.
Just to stop copying from each other.
Also, it did not look like chili. Weird space chili. Looked like porridge or something.
Yeah, food in this book, like it's kind of a weird critique, but like none of it looks like stuff people would actually want to eat.
I mean, that's space food, right? It's also
I mean,
like
that's true.
Did you say
But then,
base?
like a drilling rig.
That's also true. But like Lon talks about opening up a peaty single malt, which is supposed to be a scotch, and then like it doesn't look at all like scotch when they pours it. It was like, just say it's, I don't know. Just like make some effort to make it correlate.
Does the artist not know what scotch looks like?
Maybe not.
I feel like
Maybe
there's
just
a disconnect in certain parts between the artist and the writer.
just red peaty single malt, and it's like, I don't know what that is. It's a drink.
Probably a space drink. I'll just make it up as I go.
Yeah.
But no, like that scene where like Alex just approaches Lon in the cafeteria after he tried to drug her and after she knocked him out, and they're both just sipping on their little drinks. It's like so, it's felt almost silly to me, which I think is probably why I didn't have a hard time getting through this book also, is like, I got to the point where, very quickly, I was like, this is dumb.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny how dumb it is.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of, I think we read like a kid's comic book a while back. And I think my comment on it was, I didn't like it, or maybe it was Sparrow. I don't know, something like that. Around that time where I was like, I didn't like it until I started making voices. So when I like made up voices for each of the characters, that's when I was like, okay, I can get through this now. But yeah.
I remember you vaguely saying that.
Yeah.
I guess you gotta do what you gotta do. I don't know if voices can salvage this. But yeah, I think I started to enjoy how much this story just didn't make sense. Or care to be structured in an interesting way. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't know. I do appreciate like its attempt at kind of horror, even though I'm not a super into horror. Maybe if I was more into it, I'd like this more as like horror stuff, but I don't know. I could see people liking this. And obviously it went for like 14 issues, which is over a year. Even if they did end up canceling it, they believed in it enough to give it, 14 months if they put one out every month.
Well, was this a year, like, between all the issues, or was there a break?
I don't think there was a break. But like I said, I really didn't look into that stuff too much.
Okay. Gotcha. So I will say it. So stuff I didn't like about it was just that it seemed like to me, like I felt that there were stakes, but they didn't establish like why I should care. So it was like rather than being like, I don't care about the story, like it came off more, I'm irritated by this story. kind of thing.
Not to go back a little bit, but like the horror portion, especially where they're like, oh, there's something up with your room 17. Dude killed himself last trip in there. I was like, oh, the room's cursed. That's really interesting. Nah, people are just doing weird things in there. It's just important plot. People keep going in that room. Wish they would stop.
Yeah. You know, and then speaking of like poor use of, I guess I'm also now jumping back to what I was saying before. I agree with you. I will leave it at that. I agree with your point. All right, now to my point. Was that Jake was saying like poor word usage? Like, what was the word that you...
Oh, yeah, not of this world.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
I thought the same thing about, at one point, Alex says, man, these pieces of the puzzle aren't being fit together or something like that. And I was like, pieces of the puzzle, what? So I was like, I don't like that. But then like, what leads to my comment overall is like, they really felt like they were trying to put this mystery together. It just didn't work. Like, I just didn't feel like they actually did it.
It wasn't a compelling mystery, honestly. Like, I felt like everything was way too obvious.
Yeah, I wonder if the gang person had anything to do with the smuggling or the murder.
No. What would be interesting is if he didn't. I was like, what? I didn't know anything about that.
Well, yeah, but
I mean, that is the thing, right? Like, the one where it's, like, vaguely interesting is Lon, who has been semi-nice to her, and who she's also sort of been receptive to his niceness, is not nice. The captain is nice, if lukewarm, and likes to take money being bribed. But it's okay, we're not here to judge you, says Alex.
And was also partly complicit in the sister's murder, which kind of gets like glossed over at the very end.
She did say that you knew all along, and just like, no, I'm totally fine with that. You're nice.
There is like a wormhole they gotta take down by just driving into it.
No. She should have been like, I don't want to die in a wormhole with you.
She should have spit on him and been like, sucks that I'm dying with you, but I'm gonna do this for everybody's sake. And he should have been like, hey, no, we should save everybody, including me, and I guess you. And they should have fought over it.
This is the person who didn't even kill the person who killed their sister. So
he's just like, he's so lukewarm. He doesn't argue with her. Like, he's like, I understand if you'd be mad at me because I like being paid to cover up things. She's like, I understand. I've done some bad things too. Yeah. Like, stop understanding each other.
Probably not murder, though, if I had to guess.
No. She actually says that. She says, I've never murdered someone before, but I'm going to now.
And then she just does it.
Yeah.
When she's, like, talking to, like, Zia. But when it's, like, the captain, she's so forgiving.
No.
I don't know. Sometimes it did feel like they acted how the author wanted them to act. More
not
than,
in their own character.
Yeah.
That's why I think there is a little bit of a disconnect between, like, the author and the artist. Like, I keep going back to it, but just every single time Alex is just like, hey, person I found out is evil. You know, I trust you for the moment. Just, that's not normal.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, so speaking of, like, not shedding light on things they really should have, like, what was coming through the wormhole? Don't know. How are
we gonna find out next time?
Right. How did...
Well, I'm not gonna find out.
True. How did Amber and Aaron get into the gravity drive?
Magic.
I'm sure it won't matter too much.
Obviously. I mean, what? It was written right there. You see on page 12 there. That's
magic.
Yeah.
there's so much like imagery in the book, which I feel like should be really cool. Like her transcending her mind in some ways, like, you know, all the sorts of things like mixing together because something's happening. She's vibrating with the triangle.
She's vibing.
At the same harmony or whatever. Harmonizing together. Sorry. Terms.
Yeah, I mean, I did like it like the first time when it like kind of like dedicated a whole page to weird art. That was kind of cool.
But
they
then it just
doing
kept happening and it didn't matter ever.
Yeah.
She just sort of wakes up and is like, oh, I feel bad.
I think there is like a page where it goes like gravity engine going off, crazy splash page, next page in the doctor's office. Hey, next time you're feeling dizzy, let me know. It's like, all right, come on.
Yeah.
Like, there's no fallout to that.
I will say, like, I don't know, my kind of like, I kind of got the hint of like, this is some superstitious stuff that I don't want to see right now with all their triangles and whatnots. I was like, don't like it. I don't know why. I just don't.
So it got to you.
Yeah.
I guess that's what it was trying to accomplish.
Okay.
I
don't know what it's trying to accomplish.
Okay, maybe that's the overarching thing, right? What the heck was this book trying to accomplish?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's kind of Jake said it best. Like, there's a lot of setup there for interesting things. I felt like it had good setup in some ways. And there was just like a lot of generic set pieces, like all the people trying to betray each other in very obvious ways, collaborating, and then like creepy ghosts in her room. It felt like a lot of generic things that didn't exactly mesh together, and they didn't make it mesh together in the end either.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Special triangle technology.
Now,
Who knew it would lead to hell? Probably.
I mean, we don't know that. It could be the past. Who knows? Could be the future.
It could be that Alex goes back into the past and is visiting herself as Amber.
I thought you were going to say, is her sister.
I think that would be so much more interesting.
So it's actually
Wouldn't that
the
be
same
so
person.
much more interesting?
It would, yes. I just hyped myself.
We're all 6 months previous of whatever. I can go to Titan now to save my sister.
No. So basically Alex and Amber were the same person. That's it. They're but like two different
one-celled
versions.
organism that accidentally split.
When she went back in time, yeah. She then de-aged. Like Umbrella Academy.
That would... Oh my god, I'm growing up with like a twin, but it's actually me from the future who's come back to the past.
Yes.
They keep saying foreboding things to me.
Yeah.
Maybe you should study more hard on that science test, all right?
Do you know, like, in the beginning, she's
oh my god, I think we're just writing our own book, because at this point they just be like, actually, well, I can see the future, that's all it is. And then you just find out that they're actually you.
Yeah. Well, so there's a scene where someone was talking about her sister, and she's like, wow, she's just like you, except less angry. I'm like, foreshadowing?
That's siblings. That's how you describe siblings.
No, she said she's just like you, though.
Talon.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was going to say. I feel like I was about to insult you or something. I'm sorry on behalf of what I didn't do.
I accept your apology.
Yeah, this book just isn't very good, is it?
Okay, so I did want to ask, since you know Becky Cloonan, I'm assuming more than anyone here, is this indicative of her writing, or is this like early on and didn't really know her style?
I have not read a ton of her stuff. Like I said, I mostly chose this because I didn't realize she wrote. I just knew she illustrated. And I mean, we've read By Chance or Providence, not for the show, but that is very much Becky Cloonan's kind of style of writing, which she really loves, like medieval style stuff, you know, curses and well, not that word. She really likes, you know, a story that starts where it ends in some ways and ends where it starts.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Everything loops together.
I get what you mean.
Yes. So that's really funny that we were just talking about like going to the past. I really liked By Chance or Providence for the most part. So it is unfortunate that I don't like this other thing she's written in a much longer form. That I think I'm going to go out, and obviously this is my opinion, as is all things on this show, and say that I think she's better. She's kind of obsessed with that idea of the looping, and I feel like that's very good to explore in a shorter form than a longer form, usually. I don't know. Maybe she just hasn't built up her strength on like longer stuff.
Okay. Well, I guess like I thought this came out 2016.
Yeah, 2016.
Yeah,
or
but
at least as a volume.
yeah, so it's before then.
Okay.
I mean, you know, the issues were released before then.
So is this like her first long form story?
She did a bunch of Punisher, but I don't know if that was as an artist or as a writer.
Most of the stuff she's done is as an artist, so I don't think that was writing. But yeah, By Chance or Providence, the 3 short stories we read from her are from before this series, I'm pretty sure.
Really?
So, I mean, indicative of something.
This is true.
Yeah, so I think you guys have answered already, pretty much. Would you read more?
No.
Yeah,
Even if it was handed to you on a silver platter?
What is that?
If it was given to me, I might read it, but I'm not gonna.
No, I'm not gonna read it if it was given to me.
I mean,
Not
you
even
said
as a
it. You
gift?
said it was painful already, so like, yeah, you wouldn't want to go through more.
What if it's like your aunt or something, and like they keep asking you what you thought of it, like after they give it to you? Are you still not gonna read it?
So this is what I do. I say, sorry, I just haven't had a chance to read it.
Oh, all right. Well, you'd still accept the gift. You just wouldn't read it.
Yeah.
Not gonna like smack it out of their hand.
No. I'm not. No, that
Would you re-gift it?
not to to somebody else. Yes. Is that no?
I didn't mean to your aunt.
Okay, that would be weird.
Got you something. I really liked what you bought me, so I got you
The same
same
thing.
thing. Yeah, not particularly compelling. Don't like the characters. I kind of want to see how it gets to the craziness. But I do feel like it's going to get more painful. Because, man, issue 14 was not compelling.
Maybe it's just an off issue.
The last one released.
Yeah, that's rough.
It happens to a lot.
Man, I can't find this information as quickly as I wanted to. Whether or not like what she's written versus what she's illustrated.
Goodreads is a little bit. I use that.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I was looking through different stuff she'd illustrated. I was hoping to find more stuff she had illustrated and written to like so we could tack it on to By Chance or Providence. I mean, she's done a lot of Gotham Academy. and Killjoys, although I'm pretty sure that's only as an artist.
So Gotham Academy, she did write in that, at least from Goodreads. I don't know how much she wrote, but... Well, actually, it says 3 books, so 3 of those. Punisher...
There's not 3 issues?
It might be 3 issues, yeah. Oh, wait. No, sorry. Gotham Academy single issues, 19 of them. Well... Okay, but
that's a good amount. That's
it says,
probably 3 books.
It says by Becky Cloonan, then it says the next guy's name, and then the next guy, and then it says illustrator. So,
A lot of them Gotham Academy like combine a ton of different artists and illustrators even in the same like volume.
Mm-hmm. Punisher, she looks like she was just an illustrator for. Future State.
Yeah, she's done some Wonder Woman, I know, recently.
Yeah, that Future State Immortal Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I did read her Wikipedia page, just trying to find out more about this. Apparently, she was the first female artist to draw Batman for like a mainline comic.
Really?
Which is, wow, that took a minute. That's,
Unfortunate that had to happen so late.
When was that?
a couple years ago.
Oh, wow.
It's within the last decade.
Which is, yeah, yikes. Ugh, unfortunate. Well, so we're not going to read this. We don't really like it. Does anybody else have any more thoughts?
No.
It is kind of a downer note to end off on, but hey, you know.
That's the thing, though. I didn't find it that painful. It just wasn't a great story. Like
we can't read stuff we like every week. Sometimes
easy to
gotta
read,
spice it up.
Not
Ooh.
great.
Okay.
Oh.
It's not Gotham Academy. It's Gotham High. Which is better?
Oh,
Haven't we read both?
Yeah, Gotham High. Gotham High versus this.
This is obviously
yeah.
better.
Oh,
This
really?
is-
Okay. All right, gotcha. I gotta say,
Are
I
you
enjoyed
sure
reading
you're
that
not-
more.
Do you
Are you sure you
recall
don't
the
feel
amount of
more
notes?
offended by like the depiction of Batman in that series?
Oh my god.
Okay,
Pretty
I
offended
remember.
at certain depictions.
I will say, like, okay,
but it was funny.
I equate hate reading as like the same level of enjoyment. Not the same kind,
Okay,
obviously, but
To be fair, I cared more when I had stronger emotions when I
Right.
read Gotham High
Okay.
than when I read this.
gotcha.
If you asked me if we had not read, or like, I guess if I knew kind of how I felt, and you asked me which one to like reread for the show, if we like needed to re-record an episode, Gotham High.
Yeah.
Gotham High.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I just, so many of the things I feel like lukewarm. I don't even like really hate them. I just think they're dumb in this series.
Gotcha.
It's not well done.
But oh man, Gotham High. Oh man.
I mean, maybe I just need to pick another hate read for you guys. I have 2 choices.
Oh yes, I'm looking forward to that.
It's so bad. I can't wait.
I
Okay.
say that and because I know I've read a panel of one of those choices and I thought it was bad.
They're
Ooh,
both
from a panel?
extremely
Yeah.
bad. They're so bad, both of them.
Well, we got 3 weeks until that comes back up, so I feel like we got time.
Look forward to it.
All right, well, this has been the comic panel. I'm Taylon.
I'm Jacob.
And I'm Shawinta.
And you guys have a good rest of your day and week. Thank you for listening. You can catch our show as it airs on Mondays from 5 to 7 p.m. on KSUA 91.5 FM, the People's Radio in Fairbanks, Alaska. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at The Comic Panel, It's Comic Time. You can find The Comic Panel anywhere you listen to podcasts. Find us on Facebook at It's Comic Time, Instagram at _comic_panel, and Twitter at The Comic Panel 1. There, you will get updates on when we air on KSUA and when an episode is uploaded to YouTube and to the podcast. Have a great rest of your day.